Dun, ta, da, da. It is Rogers Gardens 2023 Tomato of the Year, and I'm going to share this with you. I'm Sarah Smith. I'm a horticulturalist here at Rogers Gardens, and let's get right into it. This right here in my hands is Dwarf Melanie's Ballet. This is the Tomato of the Year and something really different for us here at Rogers. We've never had a Dwarf Tomato of the Year, but this is really good for all of you beginning gardeners or gardeners dealing with small spaces, because it's not going to get huge and crazy and be that giant monster that by the end of the summer you're like, why did I even start this with tomatoes? Every year I'm always thinking, gosh, it's so big and crazy. These are really nice and compact. They stay about 3 feet-ish, but the tomatoes are not dwarf, so you're not going to only get small tomatoes on small tomato plants. There's some that have small, there's some that have big tomatoes as well. This one is about a 2 to 4 ounce tomato. It's super adorable. It's kind of a pink color, heart-shaped even, and it's a paste tomato, so it's great for cooking because it's not too wet inside, but it's got a really nice flavor to it. It's kind of on the sweet side, so it's also good for eating raw as well. So it has all kinds of great culinary uses in your garden, and a really good starter tomato for a dwarf tomato, but we'll have all kinds of dwarf tomatoes this year, so there's a huge selection that we'll have. So most of these dwarf tomatoes come courtesy of the Dwarf Tomato Project, which is a really kind of cool thing. It's a bunch of hobbyists and amateur gardeners that have been finding and collecting all the different dwarf seeds and curating that, so we have all kinds of great varieties. There's pink ones, there's green ones, there's stripy ones, there's small ones, there's chocolate tomatoes as well, so there's a huge variety. So if you've always thought, I just don't have room for tomatoes, you definitely do with these dwarf type tomatoes. We even have micro mini ones that stay really small that are adorable and cute little pots and very decorative, but still produce edible tomatoes. So it's definitely something that anybody can do, and you can add multiples to a pot because of the nice compact size. So we actually have a starter kit this year that we're selling here at Rogers Gardens in 2023 with pulp pots. It comes with 2 bags of soils. It comes with a nice cage, and it also comes with fertilizer. Caging is important. The last thing you want to do is have a tomato that's starting to get too tall and you think, oh, I'm going to cage it now, and you go to cage it and you break your tomato. That's happened to me so many times and it's so heartbreaking. I have learned, cage it in the very beginning so you never have to deal with it later down the road. Dwarf Melanie's Ballet Tomato of the Year for 2023 is now on a list with all kinds of other great tomatoes we've had in the past years. And I know a lot of times when you come in to get that Tomato of the Year, they're already sold out, which happens a lot. So we will have all the past tomatoes of the year: Bronze Torch, Lava Flow, Thorburst Terracotta, Piglet Lily's French Black, Madame Armand, and so many more. So you get a chance to come in and get those ones if you missed them in the previous year. We're actually going to have over 300 different tomatoes this year, so you have an opportunity to have a ton of choices and a ton of selections. Make sure you go online. We have everything that we're going to have here listed, so that way you come in prepared. A lot of times it's a little overwhelming to come in and not have a plan in place, so I definitely say look at that list, make some notes, pick out what you want to have in your garden, so that way you're absolutely prepared when you get in. Not only can you check out a list of all the tomatoes that we're going to have here in 2023 at Tomato Mania, you can also check out our Learning Center, because we have all kinds of great videos with tons of content and all kinds of tips and tricks to how to grow the best tomatoes so you can have the best tomato crop you've ever had. Make sure you also check out our Facebook and our Instagram page. There's all kinds of great stories and contents there, and you'll always know exactly what's happening here at Rogers Gardens. And if you haven't signed up for our email list, what are you waiting for? There's all kinds of fun things there as well. Recipes, tips and tricks, what's going on in the gardens. You'll find out about Pepper Mania, which we have coming up. We're also going to have a mini Tomato Mania, Tomato Mania 2, so you'll know all the information about that as well, and you can be prepared and you won't miss out on that tomato you were absolutely hoping to get your hands on, because you'll know when to come in and get it. So thank you so much for tuning in. Stay well, be safe, and happy gardening, everybody. Bye.